I'm scared of the election, obviously. Elephant in the room.
I can't wait for it to be over, and I don't want it to be over at the same exact time. And like I'm so done with politics that I'm just like I just want it over. But then I don't know. So scared to see like what's gonna happen like on the 6th and stuff.
Yeah, I'm with them. Put my vote with them, the scared vote.
No, it's so close. For a while, I was feeling really energized and like, oh, this is not gonna be a problem. But I don't know. I'm getting a little bit more worried that it might. And then it's just unbelievable to me. Like how? Like how did we get here?
Yeah, every day I have different every minute I have different emotions. I mean, I I'm just neutral. I'm not like super excited, but I'm not like depressed about it either, or I'm not gonna be like sad. I mean, I'm not gonna lie either. Like, I would rather Trump than Kamala, but I'm not gonna go like, celebrate that Trump's in office again. It's nothing like that.
What is it that you're not feeling good about?
Our presidency, because I've heard people say Trump's going to win, Ricardo. I said, man, that would be terrible. And then other people say, no, Kamala's going to win. I said, well, who's she going to be as a president? What's she going to really represent? You know, I'm not feeling good about that.
Well, I think it's rigged. I don't know. I really don't know how I'm feeling about it. Honestly, deep within my soul, I feel like it doesn't matter what anybody votes. And I know everybody's like, your vote matters, but I feel like it really doesn't. Because again, I feel like it's rigged, and whatever they want to happen is going to happen, is what I feel like. I'm still going to vote yes.
I'm definitely ready to get past next Tuesday. I've done everything I can do to turn Texas blue. Done my part. I'm not going to turn Texas blue, but it's a scary time.
I tell you, my faith tell me not to have anxiety about anything. And I have to constantly remind myself that I cannot have anxiety about the election because it's going to do and be what it's going to be. But I just hope and pray. I just hope so hard that America comes back to their senses and put somebody in there who cares.
It's kind of like a dream, like a crazy dream where all these weird things are happening. And I'm just gonna be happy when the election's over. That no matter who's in office, we can focus on more.
I don't think it's gonna be just a peaceful, yay, we wake up. Like one side is gonna be very happy and one side's not going to be.
Right.
I just hope I'm on the happy side.
Yeah.
You're scared of the election. Tell me.
On the one side, it's like, I'm really terrified that Trump will win again. And signs point to it being a very close race. And I really do like Kamala. I also don't necessarily agree with her on everything she's ever done. I also don't necessarily think she's the most perfect person for like the changes that I think our country needs to make, but she's a much better option.
Everybody's so scared to publicly state who they're voting for because it feels like there's just a stigma for anybody who's voting for one side or the other, or not voting for that matter. So everybody's just kind of trying to keep to themselves. You can kind of get an idea of who they're going to vote for.
I think subconsciously I am cautious about what I say and maybe kind of evaluating who I'm saying what to, kind of looking at people with a kind of a question in the back of my head about where they stand and who they are, which I do think it is part of my new reality. I have people that I've been interacting with at the church who this is Texas. They're from Texas. They're going to vote Republican. I get it. And I try really hard, not to make comments that would assume they agree with me politically, or that they kind of don't, try not to go there. But you know, it does flavor your interaction because you're not authentic. You're kind of guarded. And you know, that's a sadness that I have to be guarded. But I also can tell how I get wrapped up, so maybe it's better.
It just seems like everything's still a toss-up in the air. I mean, to me, it's clear as day that Kamala is not really going to win, because a lot of the people I talk to, at least in my generation and maybe a generation after that, they're all kind of like stating the same things of like, well, she's not generally favored across the board. But if you go and talk to like my grandparents' generation, they're just going to sit there and tell you like, we cannot let Donald Trump win. If you look at Project 25, they're just like, that should be the sole thing you judge everything on with him. And that should tell you everything you need to know about why we shouldn't vote for him. Like, looking at everything holistically, I feel like it should just go to Trump. Despite everything, despite, you know, all of the indictments and stuff like that, and his his personal history being brought into the election, it's just like, I feel like it should go to him, because most people are like, if we're wanting small business to be the core of America again and the economy to be somewhat stable, I think you should have a businessman at hand, because ultimately they should be able to get stuff done within the policy, properly negotiate, and then actually put their foot down rather than play the politics game.
So you mentioned you're scared to see what's going to happen. Like, what's coming to your mind?
We really feel that if Kamala wins, this country is like done for, and that we will need to actively start looking at outside countries to move to. She has no policies. She is so not right for the job in any aspect, right? She can't even answer basic questions on her policy. I was like, you have no policies. You don't know what you're doing. And it's 4 years of what we've been having, and probably even worse. You know, there's no way that she's going to, she can't even do a town hall. Well, she can't answer any basic questions. How is she supposed to go toe to toe with China or Ukraine or Russia or Iran? There's no way. There's no way. And that is truly terrifying. You know, I think she just thinks that she can just laugh everything off.
It's interesting to me because some of the language that you've used is identical to what somebody that's probably on the left, if you're on the right, is saying. I'm thinking about leaving the country. I'm really worried about what's going to happen in the future of our country.
Yeah.
So both sides, like, it's
equally everybody, like, yeah, it's almost like everybody wants it over and done with, but they don't at the same time, because yeah, they're both villain.
Is if it is not getting out of the country because I don't want to live in the country. It is getting out of the country because I don't feel safe in this country if the other side takes over and does what they're planning on doing. I'm in a gay marriage. My husband is a minority, and my husband is an immigrant. Those are 3 strikes. So that person She just might not like the policies of the country. It will not directly affect her safety, her standing within the country. People might still call her awful names because if she's red, and they're going to call me names, awful names because I'm blue. But that's very different than get out of the country. You're no longer allowed in the country. We are going to arrest you because you're brown. We're going to arrest you because you're gay. Your rights are going to be taken away because you're gay. Those for me are very different things.
Yeah.
Legal standing versus or prosecution versus just blue versus red.
Right.
I don't see I don't see those being equivalent. I please tell me if they have similar feelings that they feel that their rights will be taken away. I mean, then
Yeah.
Trump's really done a good job. I mean, he really has. I mean, at making people scared.
At least from my approach is it's not only do I not want to get in a fight or something, I also kind of want to, there is a little element of respect. I don't want to get in a discussion that's going to separate us. So I'm consciously not going there because I want to have a relationship with this person. And so it's not so much a stigma as it is a little level, at least in me, of respect. I want to know you as a person, and if we don't agree on the politics, that's okay. We'll put that aside. Let's talk about what we can. Let's talk about the things we do find common ground with.
In some ways, we've come so far. And then we're also like, let's put a convicted criminal, like that's who we should idolize and put in the highest seat. I don't know. Maybe we have not come so far. And I can't even get beyond that to find out if I like his policies because I wouldn't want my children to look up to him. So
Yeah.
so it'll be interesting. I think this is going to be really interesting and kind of scary.
I live near a lot of people that are like pretty Trumpy. And I don't know. Like it's a very angry and hateful sector of the population, but there's a lot of them. Like if you can actually get behind the guy that's talking that way and whose like entire persona, brand, campaign, everything is built on like the anger and hatred.
I have an open mind. I'm willing to listen, but also at the same time, like listen to my side too. If you're like, if we're gonna do it, and stuff. But like when they come out as like mean and just nasty, mute. I don't need that. And that's what it seems also, from my perspective, is that the left, especially the far left, like it's supposed to be love and peace. And I see all this, especially on the college campus kids, is so much hatred and vehemence. And, most Trump supporters and stuff, we can't put out flags or signs because our property is going to get damaged. But you don't see that from the right. Like they're not really bashing. It just seems to be just from the two sides that it's just more of the party that's supposed to be for love and forgiveness and openness and everything is not that way. And so when they really start getting nasty, no, I just mute. I love you. I respect your opinions. I just mute. I can engage, kind of thing.
I'm even getting asked from, family members, did you vote yet? You need to go vote. And they're trying to push us and make sure every vote counts, blah, blah, blah. I don't care who you vote for. When they still say, I don't care who you vote for, then they go and drop their nugget of like, I'm just telling you, if you don't vote for Kamala Harris, then, you're screwed. If 45 wins, and I'm like, oh, great. Thank you for that. And I just don't know what to say because I'm like, I care, but it's like, I don't care what you think about who I need to vote for. Don't tell me who I need to vote for. Let me decide for myself. I thought that's what we were for. And then it's like, if you go and tell them, well, hey, I don't necessarily want to vote for her, then they're just like, oh, so you're just going to disrespect me and disregard everything I have to say? And I'm like, I never said that.
I mean, it's so puzzling. And I heard a quote the other day that was interesting. Not a quote, but a commentator say that why young African American men are not voting for Kamala Harris is because when they were born and children, Obama was president. So they don't have the experience or knowledge of what we have went through. I do. I remember being spit upon for no reason. I remember having to go through the back door. I remember as I got older trying to figure out why my grandfather didn't go to college. Why my grandmother, this is what y'all had to do? Now, we didn't experience what they experienced, but I respect the fact if they had not happened to them, what happened to them, I wouldn't be in the position I'm in. But younger generation grew up with parents who were white collar workers. They probably went to a 4-year college. They probably did not have to work. And so their experience don't allow them to understand the importance of bringing a legacy back from people dying for us to vote. You know, and I'm not trying to give them excuses, but I'm trying to understand. I for the life of me, I can't watch commentating about it. I can't watch shows about it because I do not understand how anyone of color in this country who's a certain age, and they're younger, way younger than me, but and it's really not about race. It's really not about race. It's about respect and moral values, and it's about all those things. Not really about color. Me, if the things he says excite somebody, the things he does.
So, most of my friends love Trump, and I told them, I said, "You guys love Trump. I don't love him, but we're still friends. Can we just leave it at that?" And they pretty much says, "Yeah, we agree." So, it's okay to disagree. We agree to disagree. Friendship is more important than politics. But it was reassuring that this guy went out of the way and said that. That
We're like, yes, we
Yes.
agree on something.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I mean, I mentioned this the last time we were talking. How are we able to have this discussion?
What do you mean? Like,
I don't know. I mean, I don't get offended by anything that you say, and you're not.
Respect.
Mm-hmm.
We already have that.
Yeah.
Like, I guess that would be I would say the underlying basis, just, respect.
Yeah.
And I think I've definitely seen it since COVID.
Mm-hmm.
People have less respect for other, just humanity, general. Just,
Yeah.
like keyboard warriors, just like shooting. And I think it's just like infiltrated out. So if you don't have that, you can't go anywhere. But you also have to have a willingness to, okay, listen, and where can we meet in the middle? Where can we find agreements and like start whittling down?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Well, I appreciate it.
And so I guess the respect is I do want to know these people. I want to understand my neighbors. I want to figure out why they like this guy. And where's the rub in their life that they think that's the solution? What's the pain or the problem they have? So it's caused me to be more intentionally aware about who I'm talking to and what their life is really like. We got problems in this country, and And I understand people are angry or hurt or disillusioned or whatever emotion you want to put there, negatively hurt, negative emotions.
Yeah.
And feeling hopeless. But we got a whole generation of people who really feel like they missed the boat, and a lot of disillusioned people out there. And they're hurting. I get it.
So it's just a fascinating thing with the election. Be glad when it's over with. Hope to God it goes what we want it to go. So, and afterwards, hopefully and prayerfully, no one gets hurt. Because the day they open up that door for early voting, I was number 2.
Really? Okay, so you're all done.
I am so done. Number 2. I stood in that line and walked through them doors and proudly voted.